You're looking live at week 3. Wide Right College Football brings you all the action. And I guess we're going to have to start bringing some panelists in this joint. Y'all want to see some panelists? I don't know. Should we bring them in or should we just do it solo this week? I don't know. All right, we'll bring them in first. Let's go. Our first co-host is the longest-standing assistant to the president of the Doug Flutie fan club. He's the beast from the East, and he says, "Bring on the tea party." Please welcome to the show, Lindsey Coyle.
Wow.
Is that good? You like that?
That's next level stuff right there.
All
Eat your
right.
Flutie Flakes, kids. We're going to have a heck of a
Flutie
time.
Flakes.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. You want to bring somebody else on to share in this excitement?
Of course.
All right. Our next co-host says, the West Coast is the best coast. He's so cool. Snap-on named a color after him. And you can't spell SC or Santa Cruz without SC. Please welcome Cool Jude Santa Cruz.
And look at that. What is up? What is up? What's going on, everybody? What's everyone doing tonight?
This is the crew tonight, so this is going to be all of us tonight. Hunter he's working this week and probably next week, and we're starting off right pregame time, right? Everybody excited to be here? We're having fun. I'm excited to be here. I don't know about y'all, but I am ready to go. All right, so we only got the 42 last week, so no big interview this week, but I do have the big interview. I got the fish in the tube. The torpedo is ready to launch. Y'all just got to get us to 50. That's all. We're just 8 away. 8 away. Jude, would you agree that it's a pretty big fish?
Yes, sir.
Lindsey, would you agree it's a big fish?
Oh, it's a big
We're talking college football, pro football player. Make this happen. But we have to make this happen with you.
Pretty
making
big
it
fish. It
happen.
might be the white whale, man. Come on.
Great
Woo.
white whale. I don't know about great white buffalo, but great white whale, But it's there. We just have to get over that 50 mark. So this week we got a good story. It's not going to be anything about me, but it's a great story. Lindsey has a slight idea what we're talking about. So, All right, let's get into it, guys. Winners and losers from last weekend. There were some pretty good games last week. There are some sneaky good games this week. Are y'all ready for winners and losers week? Winners and losers basically we're recapping week 2. Jude, you're the man, you're the myth, you're the legend. Give me a week 2 winner.
A week 2 winner? Wait a second. I'm confused. We're talking about last week's games?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pick a
You threw me off
winner,
for a second.
from last week. You could take a layup on this one if you want.
No, I got a good one. How about Washington State coming up and beating Wisconsin? Someone predicted that, didn't they? That was a great
Roses
prediction.
are red, violets are blue. USC is cheered on by one power stroke, Jude. Lindsey, hit me with a loser from week number 2. Who was the big loser from week number 2 in your opinion?
The big loser by score, to nobody's surprise, was Ball State, who got outscored by 42 points playing Georgia. I was surprised that they didn't lose by more, to be honest with you, but they're the team that didn't show up, scoring one field goal late in the fourth quarter.
I'm going to go with my big winner from last week, and y'all know, choose. I want to say Texas over Alabama. Texas, it was close at halftime. Third quarter, Texas had to adjust a little bit. Fourth quarter, Texas came out and pummeled Alabama. And if you've ever seen Alabama get pushed around, you've never seen it. Last Saturday was the first time you've seen it in a long time. It was pretty impressive. I know a lot of national media likes to say that Texas kind of snuck up on them. That was a beatdown right there. So my big winner from last week is Texas. Jude, give me a big loser.
Big loser from last week are the Stanford Trees, a.k.a. the Stanford Cardinals, who took a walloping at the hands of my USC Trojans as they lost 60. I think we dropped 60. But Caleb Williams had them up 49-0. Come on, man. That's I don't even think he played a snap in the second half. That was a sick game right there.
He didn't, and they could have scored 100. Lindsay, since you had to pick a loser last time, you get to pick a big winner from week number 2. Who do you got?
The Miami Hurricanes were unranked, and they beat number 23 Texas A&M. It was a good back and forth for the first half of the game, but then Miami walked away for the third and fourth quarter. They won 48-33.
Oh, man, that was a beating right there. Anybody that watched that game would agree, too. Miami came out and whooped A&M, and I picked A&M. I thought A&M would win that game, and none whatsoever there. But it was a really good weekend of football. I got to pick a loser. So my big loser of the weekend was the Texas State Bobcats. They came up just a little bit short versus the UTSA Roadrunners. It was one of their toughest tests of the season, although it's their second game. It's still UTSA is no joke. The head coach, Jeff Traylor, is an awesome, awesome coach. And there's no substitute for, coaching. G.J. Kinney's a great coach. Jeff Traylor, better coach. Last week, week number 2. All right, that gets us into almost 6.5 minutes, and we need to talk about something pretty important here. Okay, so we got some giveaways coming up. So in order to make those giveaways go from good to great, we want to bring on some partners to the channel. Now, their partnership we're not making money off this deal. This is going straight to you guys, right? Gotta get to 50, right? Gotta get to 50. Gotta keep going. But we want to increase our giveaway. So, with that said, we are going to add some partners to the Wide Right CFB family. And, we're going to do some free promoting here the first week, right? Next week, we'll have some paid sponsors. But our first sponsor, that she doesn't know that we're doing this, so I hope it's okay. Bocce's Blankets and More. So, if you want to get some bocce balls, when a bocce ball is a crocheted blanket, gift, novelty, whatever you want to call it. You want to get one of those, you got to go to Bocce's Blankets and More on Instagram. Look her up. She's awesome. And she didn't know I was going to do this, but you know what? She made some awesome stuff for us. So we're going to try to send some business if she wants her way. So Bocce, please don't be that. But sponsorship is going to come in there. It's going to be a big part of our broadcast here. We're gonna bring on some partners. We're gonna have a little commercial segment every once in a while, and that's the way it rolls. All right, I got another big loser. You want a big loser? Maybe a big winner. It's kind of a little of both. Y'all wanna, and this kind of treads into our first segment too. So we're gonna do it anyways. What do y'all think?
Go for it.
Sounds good.
All right. So I just got to get the correct score here. Last week, the Coast Guard Academy played Anna Maria College, and Anna Maria College did not fare so well versus the Coast Guard Academy. And you got to remember, last year, Coast Guard Academy beat Anna Maria College like 66-38 or something like that, right? Well, check this out. Last week, they played, in 2023, the Coast Guard Academy played Anna Maria College and beat them 93-24. Talk about a beating. Can you believe that? 93-24. So either Coast Guard Academy is a big winner this week, or Anna Maria is our big loser. What do y'all think? Who do y'all want to pick?
Man.
Do you think Coast Guard Academy do you think they're going to score any points this week after 93? No, like usually you score a lot of points and nothing. I mean, like next week you're just like crickets. And they're playing a team. Huh?
Did they punt at all?
93 points? I don't think they had time to. They barely played defense. So, shoot. Hey, I mean, like anybody that's ever played Madden, you know how hard it is to score 93 points when it's on easy? You're just like winging shots. So, anyways, big losers, big winners. We're about 9.5 minutes into the podcast, so we're going to start rolling into our first segment here. First quarter is our salute to service. We want to say thank you to all our service members, past and present. And without you, we wouldn't be where we're at. We really appreciate it. And with that said, we're going to start with our first team. We're going to go with my team. That's the Coast Guard Academy. Like we said, they came off a 93 to 24 win over Anna Maria College. Now, things changed a little bit this week because they're playing a team they didn't beat last year. They actually lost to this team. And it's funny that I should be cheering for this team, but I'm not. So, Coast Guard Academy hosts Nichols College Bison. I'm telling you. And it's not like Nichols State with 2 L's. It's with 1 L. Like, it's this guy. Right.
Oh.
And so interesting facts about Nichols College is it's in Dudley, Massachusetts, and you can get all kinds of relatable degrees in sports marketing, sports management, sports sales, and strategy. So it's a real sports center focus. And Lindsay being from the New England area, he's probably heard of Nichols College a time or 10. So I would say that. But if you're there's a good chance that anybody involved in sports knows something about Nichols College. So, with that said, Nichols College last year beat Coast Guard Academy 37-33. And remember, in this Division III game, styles make matchups. It doesn't matter who you beat, who they beat. There's no law of transitive properties. Does not matter in Division III. Nichols State was 4-6 last year, but they did own a win over the Coast Guard Academy. But my pick is the CGA. Coast Guard Academy is going to win this game at home at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 11 p.m. my time, or 11 a.m. my time, and like 2 o'clock in the morning Jude's time. 37-33, the Bearcats get a big W, right? Big W against Nichols College, the Bison, and that is my first pick of the night. I got to do 2 more, and one of the games is actually current, and Hunter would be freaking out if he saw it. So let's go down to the Merchant Marine Academy, the foe of the Coast Guard Academy. Lindsay, give me a little juice on Merchant Marine Academy this week.
They definitively won their second game of the season, and now 2 wins, no losses, and well on their way to a perfect season at 10-0. They won 30-13, and assuming they can stay healthy, I have a difficult time seeing the loss on their schedule. So I am very bullish on them having a perfect season this year.
All right. So you're saying they're going to beat the Coast Guard Academy in the Secretary's Cup?
Yep.
Are we going to watch this game live together?
That'd be cool.
We can throw bocce balls at each other. Maybe we can get Bocce to come watch with us, and she can throw the bocce balls at us.
She can crochet them as fast as we can throw them.
Yeah, she's all right. We'll keep her around, maybe for another week or 2. All right, so who are we playing this week? Merchant Marine Academy.
Oh, this week they are playing SUNY Maritime. So it'll be a clash of the Titans there on the high seas. I see that Merchant Marines will keep rolling and sink the SUNY Maritime Academy. I'm going to guess that there'll be a score of somewhere around 42-17.
42-17. The big W by
1 second, guys.
Merchant Marine Academy. All right, so since Power Stroke Jude is off calling, the Air Force Academy is calling him to give him what they think that he should pick. We got to talk about a game that's currently going on, and that's between the Naval Academy in Memphis. And the Naval Academy is playing in Memphis, and they're actually leading this game right now, like 21-14. And it's a back and forth, straight up brawl. And Navy has debuted their new offense. They've gone and they've blended the spread with their triple option and some wing tee, and they have this. It looks like an offense I would run at the youth level, but it works because they actually have players, and they are in a dogfight right now with Memphis, and they're actually leading Memphis. Can you believe that? Navy's leading Memphis. And I'll tell you what, Hunter, since he's not here, did not pick Navy to win. He actually thought that Memphis would win 21-7. Right now, we've already busted that. Navy's leading. Memphis is going to have to catch up to even get to 21. You're going to have to take the over on this one. So 21-7, not going to happen. Navy's leading Memphis currently. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to pick Navy at this point. It's a good thing about picking in the middle of the game. And then we're going to get to some other picks here in a minute. Ken, we'll talk about UVA football in a little bit. All right. Jude, let's talk about on tomorrow night, Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time from Falcon Stadium, the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The Utah State, whatever they are, takes
Aggies.
the Aggies. Yeah, takes on the Air Force Academy Flying Falcons. All right, what do you got on this game, Jude?
Utah State's a good team. This game can go either way. Air Force, as well as they run the ball, I think they're going to have more than 3 passes to win this game. And the last 2 games, they've only thrown the ball 3 times in each game. Obviously, being an option team, but they're going to have to fool them a little bit more, run some more RPO, and make it a P instead of an R. But it's going to be a close game. I think Air Force can pull this out. I'm going to predict the game to be 24-21 Air Force. They're coming off of a dogfight. We know they can play defense because they just won.
What'd you pick the game, Jude?
24-21.
No way. You picked Air Force Academy? I picked the same exact score for them.
Oh, are you serious?
Great minds think alike. Here we go. But
That's
this is what
right.
to roll with.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with there. Now I'm even more sure. But
look, I'll show you my notes. I'm not kidding. Here are my notes right here. If you look there, you can see I picked Air Force to win 24-21 right there. I'm not kidding. I really did. and I told him, nerd. I mean, like, look at all the notes I've got for tonight.
Man,
highlight colors and circles, and I thought I saw an arrow or 2 on there. Man,
all right, so
I'm embarrassed.
That's all right. So I'm like the dumbest guy here. So I gotta have all the stuff covered. So.
You're the moderator. You need all the games. Come on.
I got a sheet that Cass pretty much made for me. I'm using it as a template and putting my own notes.
We're following it pretty well, right?
We are
following it pretty well. So,
I will say though, Air Force was in a dogfight last week with Sam Houston, man, and they won 13-3. So I'm proud of them. And
all right, through 3 weeks of the season, Sam Houston State still hasn't scored an offensive touchdown. Can y'all believe that?
That's rough.
They're saving up. They're pacing themselves.
Yeah, don't want to score too much too early.
No.
All right, so you got 24-21 Air Force Academy. I'm actually going to try to sneak away and watch this game tomorrow night. I make no promises, but I'm going to try to do this.
Anyone who has the Paramount Plus should be able to watch it because it is on the CBS Sports Network, and I believe that is included in the package with Paramount Plus. So I will watch it.
Or you can go log on and get your free Fubo subscription for 1 week while they still offer it, and you can cancel it right away. It's like Sunday morning. All right.
If I sign up for a free trial, I'm going to pay for it for 3 years before I cancel.
All right. Before we go too much further off track, let's talk about our final service academy, the Black Knights of the Hudson. From West Point, New York, Army travels to San Antonio, Texas to take on the Roadrunners of UTSA. And this game's going to happen at the famed historic Alamo Dome in somewhat downtownish San Antonio. I might try to go get this. I might try to go to this game. I'm like kind of excited about it, and you can get some decent tickets on the Army sideline, readily available. But I think it's going to be a raucous crowd. I think that UTSA is gonna pull this one out, but it's going to be a close game because Army plays well on Friday nights, and UTSA, always plays in close games somehow. So I'm picking UTSA 28, Army 21. The Black Knights of the Hudson go down this weekend, but not without a solid fight. UTSA is led by 12th year quarterback Frank Harris, Jeff Traylor, who will most undoubtedly be a big time Power 5 coach next year without a doubt. So it's gonna be a good game. You can check that game out on ESPN. So it's gonna be on the mothership tomorrow night. CBS, like Jude said, the Air Force Academy is going to play on CBS Sports Network. And Navy is currently tied with Memphis, 21-all on the mothership ESPN as well. And they're playing at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee. And Memphis isn't that far from me, believe it or not, because I haven't made the trip. So, and then if you want to catch the Coast Guard Academy, they have a streaming service. You just got to go to Coast Guard Academy Football. It's kind of like an app, but you don't have to download it, and you can stream it online. Same with the Merchant Marine Academy. So with that said, we're kind of rolling up. We've got about 5 minutes left in the segment. we can kind of branch into our next segment. But before we do that, let's one more time let's thank our troops, past and present, and one of them right here, East Coast Ken. He's in our chat right now, so thank you, Ken. And then we got to say hi to the one, the only Cajun coin hunter, Boo Locat. Thank you, Boo, for showing up. We really appreciate it. Bocce's Blankets and More. Bocce, we're just, she's like our number one fan. Maybe number 1A. I don't know. We have Christian as well. So
Christian's a panelist.
Oh, he's also a fan too. Remember, he was a super fan before he was panelist. Diabolical 58. John, thank you for showing. We really appreciate it. We love all the support. Pat Paulson.
What's up, John?
Dude. Thanks, Pat, for checking us out. So Pat hit us with Yo VIP, and I hit it with Let's Kick It. So
if you ever want
for no meaningless points, if you're from the 90s, what song are we talking about?
Can I answer?
You're
all right, stop.
Panel.
Collaborate and listen. I is back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I glow to the extreme. Rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a jump like a candle. Dance. And I could go on and on because I've done it many times.
And there somewhere exists a photo of Hunter. He went to a Halloween party dressed as Vanilla Ice with hair.
Oh, dude, that is so perfect. He had that big pompadour. Oh, no way.
It was great. Hunter pulled Vanilla Ice off better than Vanilla Ice. Minus the drug problem, he was doing good. So
I thought that was Rapper's Delight for a second.
We got to say what's up to JWC Tech. He's weighing in right now. It says, go blue.
There he is.
Talk about the Michigan Wolverines, and I've got my pick for Michigan later. And so, how we're going to do this tonight, and from now on, we'll kind of before we catch into the quarter number 2, and we're kind of wrapping up here on quarter number 1, is we're going to have a conference breakdown, what we call rapid fire. And so everybody's going to take their conferences that they're covering, and they're going to go through the games, and they're going to lay down their predictions, and then we have some picked games that we're going to go head-to-head with, where you got to pick the score of the game, and it's 8 games, and we're going to have that in the 4th quarter. So rapid fire is our conference breakdowns. 3rd quarter, we're going to have a good story, but we're probably going to have some other stuff in the 3rd quarter as well. Halftime may bleed over into the 3rd quarter. It doesn't necessarily – our story's not going to be that long. Our big guest coming up, I'm telling you, you want to get to 50 subscribers so you can see who we have coming on. It's a big guess. Would you say it's a big guess?
Absolutely say it's a big guess. All
right. So I'm telling you, we got to go and get to 50 subscribers. Also, partners. If you want to be a partner with Wide Right TFB, we want to be a partner with you. Let us know. You can email us at widerightcfb@gmail.com. Crickets. All right. We're getting pretty close. We got about 2 minutes before the 3rd quarter. So I'm going to let you know our big games of the week. For Jude especially. So the games that we're picking this week, it's going to be UVA in Maryland, Minnesota at North Carolina, Tennessee at Florida, University of South Alabama at Oklahoma State. And don't laugh because there's some potentials there. Georgia Tech at Ole Miss. I know Jude's sitting here like, dude, no way. Syracuse at Purdue, Pitt at West Virginia. And that's going to round it out. And then we have the game of the week that doesn't matter. It's the game of the week. We mean WEAK, but we're going to call it the game that doesn't matter. And it's a doozy. And I tell you what, you all want to have a contest? Because nobody other than me knows what the game of the, well, Hunter does, but he's not near a phone. So who wants to guess what the game that doesn't matter this week is? I don't know. We'll have to have a contest for something. We don't have channel stickers. Man, I'd love to have some channel stickers. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you like to see some Wide Right CFBs rolling down the highway on the back of a car? We got to come over.
That would be so cool. Stickers. Imagine all the stickers, channel stickers we could promise and not send out. Man.
All right. So we'll come up with something. We'll come up with something good. If you can think, and this is before, we're going to do this in the overtime. When we hit OT, you got to come up with the game that doesn't matter this week, and you got to put it into the deal. And only Hunter and I know this, and I'm the only one that's near the internet connection right now. So You got to come up with the game that doesn't matter this week. I know what it is. Y'all have to read my mind, and I'll be honest. I'll tell you if you're right. So get in that chat box and do that. With that said, we're at the 25-minute mark. It's time for quarter number 2. Telling you, this thing goes by quick. First quarter, done. Halftime, done. Or pregame, done. We're 25 minutes into this bad boy. Y'all ready to go? Quarter number 2, rapid fire time. Y'all ready?
Ready.
All right. So just so you can get an idea what we're doing, we're going to go with Hunter first. Since Hunter's not here, we're going to go to the Sun Belt. All right. The Sun Belt is the fun belt. And our first Sun Belt game is Georgia Southern's going to go to Wisconsin, take on Wisconsin. This is an 11 a.m. game on the Big Ten Network. From Madison, Wisconsin, Georgia Southern's going to get smashed. Wisconsin lost a tough game last week to a very good Washington State team. And if you're watching out in the Pac-12, that Washington State team is no team to sleep on. Am I right, Jude?
Yes, sir.
All right. Our second game of the week comes to us. Wake Forest travels to Virginia to take on Old Dominion University at 11 a.m. It's on ESPN The Deuce, coming from SB Ballard Stadium in Norfolk. I hope I said it right. Virginia. I'm saying Wake Forest is going to take this game down. Actually, Hunter's saying Wake Forest is going to take this game from Old Dominion. But this is a close game, so don't sleep on Old Dominion just thinking because they're a name that you haven't heard often that they're going to lose. Old Dominion is a very, very, very good team. Got to watch out for them. Now we travel to the state of North Carolina from Kidd Brewer Stadium in Boone, North Carolina. We got the Pirates from East Carolina traveling to App State to take on the Mountaineers from App State. Now, App State played North Carolina into 2 overtimes and almost beat them. So they're going to pummel East Carolina this week. This is a 2:30 game. It's on the Plus, the ESPN Plus, that is. So you're going to have to probably do some searching to find it. Or if you're in the North Carolina area, just roll on over and go watch this game. You're going to love college football if you watch this game. App State's got a great tradition. They're a great school for college football. It may be a hidden gem, we should say. All right. With that said, let's move on to our next game. And we're going to travel to the state of Texas, where the Warhawks from University of Louisiana Monroe travel to College Station. They're going to play at Kyle Field at 3 p.m. against the vaunted Texas A&M Aggies. And this is on the SEC network. And you remember, you can't spell SEC with what? Without what?
SC. Fight on.
Without S and C, fight on. All right, there we go. All right, I'm just making sure the panelists are still awake while I was talking. And we've got Texas A&M. They're coming off a tough loss. ULM is not a bad team. ULM beat Army. They're also 2-0 right now. So ULM's not a bad team. ULM's going to be hard to beat. It's not going to be an easy game for A&M. A&M's going to respond after a hard game last week. They're going to come out and win this game by a lot. All right, we travel to the great state of Mississippi. Hattiesburg, Mississippi, that is. At M&M Roberts Stadium, we have the Tulane Green Wave traveling to take on the University of Southern Miss. Right. So I'm picking Tulane to win this game. Tulane took a pretty good whooping the other week against Missouri. I mean, I'm sorry, not Missouri. Against Ole Miss. Jude's about to jump through the screen and smack a cast.
What?
And
What?
he's about to jump through and smack a cast. So, with that said, very awesome to. It's gonna be a good game. Tulane's gonna win this thing by a lot. It's not even gonna be close. So, with that said, we're gonna move on to Georgia State. It's traveling to North Carolina, the Jerry Richardson Stadium, and that's the guy that used to own the Charlotte Panther or Charlotte. What are they? What's the football team in Charlotte called? The pro football team? Carolina Panthers, right? Is that right? Yes, that's right.
Carolina Panthers.
And he was removed for because he's a creepazoid. So, anyways, without that said, Georgia State's traveling to play Charlotte. Charlotte's going to win this game. This is Hunter's pick. All right. Now, if you're wanting to hear about University of South Alabama at Oklahoma State, you got to stay till the fourth quarter because this one we're going to have our pick 'em. And I'm not going to let y'all know that right now. We travel back to Birmingham, Alabama at Protective Stadium, where the Raging Cajuns from the University of Louisiana travel to take on the Dragons from University of Alabama, Birmingham. We got UAB winning this game. A lot to not a lot. All right. And another team that you'd never think I could pronounce his name. Duquesne Bulldogs traveling to the state of South Carolina, and that's Conway, South Carolina, and they're going to Brooks Stadium. They're taking on the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. Coastal's going to win this game, hands down. All right.
I'm glad I have a game picked up on my screen. That's my guess at the game of the week. As I was going through them, I considered that one, but I moved on from it, and I did pick one. So let me know when you're ready for my guess.
Okay, we're gonna do it in overtime. It's gonna come out in overtime. All right. Get saved for the overtime. All right. Jonesboro, Arkansas, from Continental Bank Stadium. We've got Stony Brook traveling to play Arkansas State. Now, this is my prediction on this one. Hunter has Stony Brook winning this game. If Stony Brook wins this game, Butch Jones will be the first coach fired this year, right before Mel Tucker. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Sea Wolves versus the Red Wolves. What a cool battle!
All right, I got to pick this up because I'm dragging a serious amount of tail right now. All right, our G5 game of the week. If you want to watch some good Group of 5 college football, you have to watch James Madison University traveling to Alabama to take on the Troy Trojans from Veterans Memorial Stadium. This is Hunter's picked game of the week. It's on the NFL Network. It's going to be at 6 p.m. You're going to love this game. Go and watch it. It is going to be a fantastic game. So watch that game. And our final Sunbelt team of the week, or game of the week, it's going to be Jackson State traveling to San Marcos, Texas, to take on those Texas State Bobcats at Bobcat Stadium at 7:30 p.m. The Bobcats look to get off the schneid after their loss against their I-35 rival. They're going to go and smash Dion's old team. Jackson State has no chance in this game. They are going to get crushed. All right, that's the Sun Belt for this week, and that's Hunter's. We got to pick it up. We may actually have to roll into the third quarter with some of our picks here. I'm going way too slow. Lindsay, give me something from the Atlantic Coast Conference.
All right, the ACC has got some exciting games because I think we're going to see some close matches this week. Boston College plays Florida State, and unfortunately, Florida State's going to pull this one out handily. And do you want us? Are we doing scores on this one, or just winners losers?
Straight up picks, just winners and losers.
Florida State is going to win hands down. I'm going to say by maybe 3-4 maybe touchdowns.
State of California, or maybe the length of Florida.
What's that?
By the length of Florida.
All the way from Key West on up to the northern border. As we look to what some of the more exciting games are going to be, I would look to the Pittsburgh West Virginia game because both teams come in with a 1-1 record.
That's one of our pick'em games. It's one of our pick'em games.
What's that?
Hitting West Virginia is one of our pick'em games. You gotta keep people on the hook. That's the fourth quarter game there.
Okay.
We can't come to the fourth quarter.
I don't know. Let's see. Then
let's cut the legs out from underneath you. Then.
I was on a roll there, but whatever. Let's see. I had my list.
That's why you got to follow the 6 P's.
Florida Atlantic and Clemson.
Nah, that's not a game of the week. You can pick that one all day long.
This one, poor Florida Atlantic is not going to stand a chance against Clemson, and Clemson's going to walk all over them. Probably, I'm going to say at least 3 touchdowns, maybe 3 touchdowns and a field goal will be the differentiator in that game. And what else? With Duke in Northwestern. Duke comes in at 2-0. Northwestern's 1-1. I'm going to give this one to Duke, and I think they're going to walk away with it probably later in the game. I anticipate this one being fairly close for the first 3 quarters, and the Duke will walk away in the fourth quarter.
What do you think the total IQ is between the two teams on this thing? Is it in like
hard
millions?
to say.
Billions, possibly? Smart kid schools. All right, what else we got, Lindsay?
Did we do Minnesota, North Carolina?
Yeah, that's going to be one of our fourth quarter games. Georgia Tech and Ole Miss.
Then just Syracuse, Purdue, then I think is the last one there. So Syracuse.
2 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, God dang it. I don't know then.
Killing you.
That's pretty much it then.
Well, why don't we talk about Bethune-Cookman at Miami? They're going on right now. I'm sure Miami.
Is that on right now?
Yeah, it's on.
Close.
ESPN.
Game's a lot closer than I thought it would be in the fourth quarter.
What is it, like 500? It's 41-0.
Yeah, a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, Bethune-Cookman has Miami right where they want them.
Right where they have them on the hook.
After a rousing pep talk during halftime, they're on the comeback trail.
All right, so Bethune-Cookman has the ugliest uniforms I've ever seen. I mean,
well, what's
so
uglier,
ugly
the
that
score
you
or the
have to tie a
uniforms?
pork chop
What
to
is
it and let the dog play with them.
Bethune-Cookman? Is that a name? I mean, like
Yeah,
someone's
it's
name.
I think it's probably a HBCU, and they're out of Daytona Beach, Florida. So, but they do, HBCUs now. They're not just all black players. They do have white players on the team. The quarterback for Bethune Cookman is a white guy, but he hurt his shoulder like on a throw. It was something like I would do. Like that's part of what's wrong with me right now is I hurt my shoulder on a throw. Lindsay, you got anything else for us out of the Atlantic Coast Conference?
I think that's pretty much all I think all the other ones we're going to be talking about anyway.
Wake Forest at Old Dominion. We already talked about that one.
We talked about them.
Yep, with us in the Pick'em game. Louisville, Indiana. Did you talk about that one?
Oh, I don't think I did. I would pick Louisville, who's currently 2-0 and has done very well to start the season, to win over Indiana by, I'd say, a good differential would be 10 points. Indiana does not have the defense to stop Louisville. They're going to score big and score often, but it'll be a high scoring game though. I think both teams will bring their offenses, and their defense is probably going to take a break on this one. But still, I think Louisville's going to pull it out and win by probably at least 10 points.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's head out to the West Coast because Jude says it's the best coast. Jude, hit me with some Pac-12 knowledge, and I don't think I have any games from the Pac-12 picked, so you're free to move about the country here.
All right, Utah will stay ranked and probably move up a spot as they're going to beat Weber State on the Pac-12 network at 11 a.m. Oregon State will.
I got to help you with the name real quick. It's not Weber.
Weaver.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, Weber State.
And Weber State plays on the street out in front of the school's called Deseret.
Oh, cool.
I have some knowledge. It's the only place in America you can get a bachelor's degree in automotive technology.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Oregon State will remain undefeated at home, playing on Fox Sport 1 at 12:30 as they defeat San Diego State. Cal should bounce back from a heartbreaking loss to Auburn last week, and they'll beat Idaho. Washington's going to give people a preview of what the Pac-12 teams are going to do to the Big Ten teams as they destroy Michigan State on the Peacock channel at 2 o'clock my time. Washington State will remain undefeated against Northern Colorado. UCLA will beat North Carolina Central. I don't know why they're playing all the Carolinas. They already played Coastal Carolina. Oregon's going to smoke Hawaii. That's just going to be one of those games that, no scores. I'm sorry, no scores. Sacramento State will face their old head coach as they play at Stanford and lose. Stanford's not a very good team, but I think they're good enough to beat Sacramento State. Are we talking about primetime, or should I wait on that one?
Nope, you can talk about it. Colorado State and Colorado are wide.
Coach Prime's going to come on with a cowboy hat, a baseball cap, and like 6 pairs of sunglasses to the press conference after they beat Colorado State because he's a little bit pissed off about what's his Norvell?
Jay Norvell.
Yeah, Gene Norvell saying that he's not very professional, that he should take off his hat and glasses when he speaks to adults. That made it personal. That's what Prime said himself. Arizona State.
How many? Okay, this is the one game I'll let you throw some points. How many points is Colorado going to beat Colorado State by?
Oh, they're going to beat them by 40. ESPN 7 p.m. primetime game, guys.
Yeah. Well, for you, for us, it's going to be like our nighttime game.
Oh, that's true. Arizona State for Joey Preciado, who I think wants a link because he sent me a text right now saying that he wants on. I think that's what I sent him the link. I think that's what he was saying. He's like, "Oh, do you guys have room for me?" And so I sent him the link.
Hop off if Joey could come on.
Wow.
Arizona State's playing Fresno State. That's a tough game for me to pick, man. That one can go either way. But since Arizona State's at home, I'm going to take the Sun Devils. And Arizona should handle UTEP at home. Pac-12, man, having a great college football season. I believe going into this weekend, they are 21-4, best record out of all Power 5 conferences, and they played some Power 5 schools as well. So
remember, they have to all play each other. Now,
yes,
Utah,
that's true.
Utah did everything they could to lose to Baylor last week.
They tried. They tried their best. They came from behind to win, or Baylor came from ahead to lose. However you want to call that.
It was not pretty. I mean, like there's good looking football in this world, and that's not fun. All right, so here's the deal. We're going to run into overtime. We're going to run into halftime a little bit with our pick'em because I spent way too much time talking about the Sun Belt Conference. So I need to hop into the Big 12.
Hey, it's the
Big
Sun
12.
Belt, man. We got to talk about the Sun Belt.
I mean, I didn't even get to my two conferences I'm supposed to watch. So we'll just talk about this. The Big 12, no big deal here. They're not a very good conference, obviously. Nothing compared to the Pac-12 and Jude. Kansas State's gonna beat Missouri by a lot to not a lot. Long Island University is gonna get slayed by Baylor. Baylor's gonna get their first win of the year. They should have gotten their first win last week against Utah. Iowa State's gonna beat Ohio, but not by a lot, and then definitely take the under on that game. The number 19 Oklahoma Sooners, they're gonna crush Tulsa in Tulsa a lot to not a lot. Villanova's gonna lose to University of Central Florida or UCF. Miami of Ohio is going to play Cincinnati in the other Battle of Ohio. Cincinnati's going to win this game by a lot. You got to stay tuned for our University of South Alabama and our Oklahoma State pick. Cowboy U, as we refer to it in Texas, Tarleton State will travel to Lubbock to play the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the South Plains, and Texas Tech's going to win by the state of California. BYU is going to travel to Fayetteville, and if you're from Texas, you know that means Fayetteville, Arkansas. And Razorbacks are going to beat the Cougars at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on ESPN handily. Then we are another pick'em game, Pitt at West Virginia. That game's at 6:30 on ABC, and it comes from Milan Puskar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia. Gotta stay tuned. Wyoming's going to travel to Austin and take on Texas. This is going to be a little bit closer game than probably the eyeballs will want to see, but it's going to be like a 31-14 game. Texas will win this game. But Wyoming is not a joke. They beat Texas Tech in the first game of the year. TCU is going to travel to Houston. They're going to handle their business. They're going to beat the Cougars. That's a 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fox. And then Kentucky will crush Nevada in Reno a lot to not a lot. If you want to see a lot of points scored, you want to see a Heisman sleeper, to watch Jalen Daniels play against Nevada. He'll probably have 500 total yards of offense between running and passing. I'm just throwing it out there. So that's going to wrap up the Big 12. That's Hunter's portion. Everybody give a round of applause for Hunter. All right, we're into the halftime right now, but we're still in the second quarter ish. Lindsay, you got anything from the damn SEC? You know, they're just kind of a so-so conference at this point. You just can't pick Tennessee and Florida.
Let's see. All right, then we won't talk about Tennessee and Florida. No, I think we pretty much covered them all, haven't we?
No, not the SEC. You have Alabama traveling to South Florida. How are they going to do this weekend? Are they going to beat the Bulls?
Coming off a tough loss for them last week, I don't know. I think that they had a lot of wounds to lick, and they have to get a lot of aspects of their game back to the point where they can be more competitive. But I think they're still going to win, even though they've got a lot of work ahead of them. Their coaching needs to improve. Their offense needs to improve. And as much as I like what the quarterback was doing and how well he played, given the circumstance, I think Bill Rose got a lot of work ahead of him too. Having said that, I'll say this. They do have what it takes to beat South Florida, and I would look for them to win handily. And I would also look to have a high-scoring game because I don't think the Alabama defense has proven that they got the stopping power they're going to need to keep scores lower in the game. So I look for a high-scoring game, the total about 61 points maybe, and I'd look for Alabama, though, to win by a couple of touchdowns.
All right. We'll start there. All right. So the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs, they're hosting South Carolina, and this could be an absolute sleeper of a game. Georgia cannot sleep on South Carolina, or they could be the next victim. What do you think in this game, Lindsay?
I agree that they can't take any team for granted, and they can't run the risk of underestimating who they're playing. I don't think that's going to be a big problem for them, though, this week. And I see Georgia handily winning this one as well. I think that they're going to walk away with it early in the game and never look back. So I look for a high-scoring game on their part, and I think they're going to keep – I think the defense is going to be good enough to keep the score down. So I'd look for a score about 56-14.
All right. So we're going to travel to the state of Mississippi, Starkville, Mississippi, at Davis Wade Stadium. You got the number 14 LSU Tigers traveling to Mississippi State to take on the Bulldogs. What do you think is going to happen in this game?
I'm sorry.
It's for Lindsay. I'm walking Lindsay through the SEC.
All right, cool.
Was this a Georgia Tech Ole Miss game?
No, this is LSU Mississippi State.
Oh, I'm sorry. You did say that, didn't you? LSU's far better, I think, than what their rankings right now show. Even though they're 1-1 and Mississippi State has yet to lose, I see LSU winning this game. They got some work cut out for them, but they're going to win this game, I'd say, by about 10 points. And the reason being there, Mississippi State doesn't have the offense to overcome LSU's defense. And that's always going to win you the game in a close match, and I would give the edge to LSU because of their defense. But you can't also overlook how productive their offense has been this year. I look for that to be the big difference in the win by 10 points.
All right. Jude, you got anything coming out of the Mountain West, or what we call the new Pac-12?
That is funny. Yeah, I can go through that real quick. Tomorrow, Air Force is going to beat Utah State. I went over that. Boise State's going to beat North Dakota on Fox Sports 1 at 9 a.m. my time. I already said Oregon State's going to beat San Diego State. UNLV is going to beat Vanderbilt on CBS Sports Network. San Jose State's going to play a tough game with Toledo, a lot tougher than it needs to be, but they will win. Wyoming, you talked about this game already, but I don't think they're a tough team, but I don't think they're going to be much of a match for Texas. Oregon, I said, it's going to smoke Hawaii. New Mexico State, man, battle of New Mexico right there. That's a pick 'em for me. If I had to take a guess, or a pick, if my life was on the line, I'd probably say New Mexico because they're at home. I told you guys Colorado's going to be Colorado State. Arizona's going to be Fresno State. Arizona State's going to be Fresno State. And I also like Kansas over Nevada.
All right. So with that said, since we just got off the Kansas subject, and I just said that Jalen Daniels is once again going to be a Heisman dark horse. Jude, give me a couple of Heisman hopefuls right now. Not named Caleb Williams.
Okay, well, who I'm going to call him my dark horse. You want me to name him? As long as he keeps winning.
Coach Prime's son?
No, as long as he keeps winning, and as long as he keeps winning with the schedule he has, which I think is the toughest schedule in college football this year. I think Jackson Dart is a dark horse, and I think Sam Hartman will be there. They're both playing well. They're both putting up numbers, and until they lose, they are going to be in the conversation for Heisman. Yeah, Shedeur. Of course, Shedeur. He's good.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm not gonna hate on Colorado until they
prove us wrong.
Differently.
Yep.
Until prove me wrong. I mean, what Coach Prime's done is awesome, and then I was a big doubter of Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime, and I've been proven wrong.
Yep.
So they've changed my mind. So until proven otherwise, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna enjoy watching them. So I can't wait till they get into conference play because Pac-12 is pretty loaded. So it's gonna be a fun
2 weeks
fun
from now
conference to watch. Yep.
2 weeks from now in Boulder, 4-0 versus 3-0. It'll be game day. Will be there. Fox Sports will be there. SE's going to be going into Colorado for a primetime top 10 undefeated matchup. Man, I can't wait.
All right, Lindsay, give me a Heisman frontrunner and a Heisman dark horse.
All right, well, aside from Caleb Williams, look at Drake May from North Carolina. He was in the conversation briefly last year, and given how good a season he had, I expect him to build on that. One of the ACC coaches said that he's got great pocket presence, and he's just got it. And I think that level of play from last year, built upon that for this year, he stands a real chance of being a top contender. One of the dark horse contenders we're going to have to look at is Kyle McCord at Ohio State. I think that he's got very good numbers, and he's approaching the ones that Stroud was putting up, and he's got a good, skilled set of offensive players around him to make him shine even brighter. So he's my dark horse pick.
All right. For me, my frontrunner pick, of course, I'm going to pick Caleb Williams. I mean, who wouldn't pick that guy? He's He has an excellent chance of being the second player to ever win 2 Heisman trophies in his collegiate career. I look for Caleb Williams to have a big season and continue to roll. He puts up video game style numbers. It's like he's playing with, he's playing against a lower level. Whatever team they play, Caleb Williams shows you why he's going to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft.
What's that saying? He's playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers or something like that.
Oh yeah, I mean he's just like this is what you want to see out of your quarterback. He's beating like competition, like he's 2 times better than them. This is what a pro quarterback looks like playing college football. So Caleb Williams, without a doubt in my mind, definite the number 1 Heisman front runner, especially after he runs through the Pac-12 and smashes all the competition. It won't be close. You don't want to get in a shootout with USC. That's what I'm saying right now. My Heisman dark horse, I'm going to go to the state of Texas and actually the University of Texas. And the trigger man for the University of Texas Longhorns, Quinn Ewers, has like 600-something yards and 6 touchdowns through the first 2 games of the season. You can't sleep on Quinn. He played the top-rated Alabama defense and picked them apart. So you can't knock the guy. The guy played well, but he's still a dark horse. And like I said, there's also other dark horses out there. Jalen Daniels, definite Heisman contender. You just haven't seen it yet. Watch tomorrow night, Kansas, when they travel to Nevada to smash the Wolfpack. All right. With that said, we're in the halftime show right now, the halftime portion of our show, and we're creeping up towards, actually, we just went into the third quarter. We just need to cover the coach's hot seat. I would say that Butch Jones, like we said earlier, is definitely on the coach's hot seat. And if you're watching the news this week in college football, some really hard stuff to look at coming out of the Michigan State Spartans program once again out of their athletic department, where they've suspended their head coach, Mel Tucker, without pay for an inappropriate relationship he's had with basically a rape survivor. She goes and talks to the schools and he's accused of sexual harassment. Obviously, he's innocent until proven guilty. I would just say that it's just not a good situation. When you're the head coach of a major university, you basically need to walk the walk. You know what I mean? So stuff like having relationships outside of marriage just can't happen. So with that said, those are coaches on the hot seat. Mel Tucker is probably going to be fired by the university because they give him this huge contract. The team hadn't really looked good. They're going to use moral turpitude to get out of this contract. They're going to wait until October. There's a date in October where the players can't transfer from the school to another school when the coach is fired. So just look for that. Butch Jones, when they lose to Stony Brook, he's going to get fired.
What happened? What happened to Butch Jones, man?
The guy looks all right. Can I speak freely here?
Sure.
The guy's an asshole, right? He looks like an asshole. He's got an asshole haircut. He's got an asshole face. If I saw Butch Jones in public, I'd probably punch him right in the face. I'm not gonna lie. The dude looks like a total a-hole.
I thought you were going to punch him right in his asshole.
No, hell, that made me weird. I'm not doing that. All right. We're going to roll into the third quarter. Enough of this shenanigans here. I don't like Butch Jones. None whatsoever. All right. So I don't have a superstar guest this week because we don't have 50 subscribers. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tell a good story. And would y'all like to hear a good story?
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right, so this is going to kind of fall back to our first quarter, and so the West Point United States Army Service Academy, West Point, they play in New York, obviously, and they play what's called Michie Stadium. Now it's spelled Michie, Michie. I know this because I heard it pronounced, and I call myself an expert. This is a outdoor football stadium on the campus of the United States Military Academy in West Point, New York, home for the Army Black Knights. And it opened 99 years ago in 1924 and has a current seating capacity of 38,000. And there's some standing room only stuff there too. The stadium sits at the upper portion of the campus directly west of Lusk Reservoir. The field is at an elevation of 335 feet above sea level, and it runs the traditional north-south configuration with the press box on the west side due to the view offered by its location overlooking the beautiful Hudson River and the neo-Gothic architecture of the campus, it was rated Sports Illustrated's number 3 venue. Now, what's important about Michie Stadium is not the actual stadium itself, it's who it's named for, and it's a pretty important thing. So, Michie Stadium is dedicated to the memory of Dennis Michie, who was 28 years old when he was killed. And we'll get into that a little bit more. He was instrumental in starting the football program while a cadet at the academy. He's a member of the class of 1892. Michie organized, managed, and coached the first football team at West Point in 1890. 6 years after graduation, he was killed in Cuba during the Spanish-American War. There have been several renovations to the stadium since. They have another planned renovation, but with COVID and there's like some budget issues right now, they're kind of they're on hold. But Michie Stadium is a awesome place. Now I want to talk a little bit more about Dennis Michie, and this will go into just a little bit. He was an officer in the United States Army. This is a big deal, right? He's not just a soldier; he's an officer, and he was a college football coach. You got to think he played and he coached the same team at the same time.
That's
He served on the team. He compiled a record of 3-2-1 as a head coach. He attended the Lawrenceville School in New Jersey, graduating in 1888. So this guy had a very short life and packed a lot of stuff into his short life. He was killed at the bloody bend of the San Juan River in the Spanish-American War. And after that, they dedicated Michie Stadium to him when it opened in 1924. So our big story of the day is for one, the only Dennis Michie and the Black Knights of the Hudson, the United States Military Academy at West Point. We thank you. We can't thank you enough. That's our big story for the day, and that's how Michie Stadium got its name.
very cool.
That's neat. Good piece of history.
So, with that said, we can get back into some more pick'em stuff, head-to-head stuff. But I figured I'd do that. So I'll tease everybody just a little bit about one of our big guests. He did play at the University of Texas, and he played in the NFC North in the NFL. I'm just saying. You just gotta get us to 50. Gotta get us to 50, and you're gonna find out. All right, who wants to hear about MAC football? You want to hear about MACtion? You know, MACtion's coming up here pretty soon. You know, when the weather cools off a little bit, they start playing on Tuesday nights. We're going to talk about MAC like a week in advance just so we can get them in there. And some of my least favorite football I've ever watched is MAC games. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and jump out here. I'm going to say that from UB Stadium in Buffalo, New York, the Buffalo Bulls on CBS Sports Network at 11 a.m. Central Time host the Liberty. Liberty's going to crush Buffalo a lot to not a lot. Buffalo's not a good team. At 11 a.m. on ESPNU from Pendon Stadium in Athens, Ohio, the Ohio Bobcats host the Iowa State Cyclones. It's going to be a close game. We already picked this one. Iowa State's going to win this one. It's going to be like a 10-3 score. Take the under. Tip your waitress. All right. From Dick's Stadium in Kent, Ohio, Kent Golden Flashes host the Central Connecticut State University. This is 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus. Kent State's going to win this game, but a lot to not a lot. All right. Here's one I've been wanting to talk about. From Ypsilanti, Michigan, from Rynearson Stadium, the Minutemen from the University of Massachusetts are going to travel to Eastern Michigan University, and they're going to take on Eastern Michigan. I'm picking the Minutemen on this one. It's my conference, my pick. UMass all the way. UMass is going to win their second game of the season. Mark that down. All right, at 1 p.m. on ESPN Plus from Muncie, Indiana.
Cool Minutemen.
I'm not even gonna. It's Schumann Stadium. Indiana State's gonna travel and take on Ball State. Ball State's gonna get off the big L, and they're gonna go and crush Indiana State. All right, at 1:30 p.m. on Peacock from Notre Dame Stadium in Notre Dame, Indiana. That's really South Bend, Indiana. Central Michigan, the Chippewas are going to travel there, and they're going to face the number 9 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And Lindsey's guy, Sam Hartman's going to throw for about 400 yards and probably 4 touchdowns. Would you agree with that, Lindsey?
He throws that every week using his gorgeous face alone.
I mean, he looks great in a Notre Dame uniform, right? I mean, like,
right?
The guy looks like he should be selling, something. I don't know, used cars at least.
It's a big upgrade.
It's a giant upgrade. All right. at 2:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network from Iowa City, Iowa. Kinnick Stadium. They have the greatest tradition. It might be a story coming up in the future if we don't get to 50 subscribers. There's a neat thing that they do at Kinnick Stadium where they turn back and they wave at the kids in the hospital. And I don't care if you like or hate Iowa, you gotta love that. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. I almost scored a tear on that one. Almost.
No, I've seen the games where they do it at night, man. It is, oh man, that's touching. Yeah. One of the most touching things you'll ever see in college football.
Yep. Iowa has the best defense in the Big Ten. They're going to win this game a lot to not a lot. They're beating Western Michigan, no problems at all. NIU travels to Lincoln, Nebraska at Memorial Stadium at 6 p.m. on FS1, and Nebraska is going to win this game by a ton. At 6 p.m. on the Big 12 ESPN Plus from Nippert Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, the Battle of Ohio. Miami of Ohio travels to play the Bearcats from Cincinnati. Cincinnati's going to win this game, hands down. Drew's going to like this game right here at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus from Glass Bowl, Toledo, Ohio. The San Jose State University Trojans are going to crush the Toledo Rockets a lot to not a lot. Am I right, Jude?
Yes, I agree. San Jose Spartans, I believe, though.
Well, I know. You're from the best coast. The West Coast is the best coast, so you got to let this guy know. I'm from the third coast. At 6:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network, we got Bowling Green State University traveling to Ann Arbor, Michigan, play the Wolverines. JWC Tech, if you're out there, go Big Blue. There you go. Michigan's going to win by a ton. And then finally, coming out of the MAC, the Akron, I think the Zips, if I was to guess right, they travel to Kroger Field in Lexington, Kentucky at 6:30 p.m. on ESPNU, and they're going to get smashed by the Wildcats from the University of Kentucky. And I would bet heavy on that game that University of Kentucky will win that game. Anybody disagree?
Nope.
Bueller? Anyone? Bueller? No. We got about 4 minutes left. I'm going to smash through the Big Ten. Are we good with that?
Yeah.
All right. In a close game, the number 7 Penn State Nittany Lions travel to Illinois at 11 a.m. on Fox. They're going to go to Champaign, Illinois, as a matter of fact, and they're going to play the Fighting Illini. They're going to win. Penn State's going to win this game, but it's not going to be by a lot. And in a game that Lindsay said that Louisville would smash Indiana. How dare you? I agree. From Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana, this is an indoor game at 11 a.m. on the Big Ten Network. Louisville will beat Indiana handily. All right, we covered this game. Georgia Southern is going to lose to Wisconsin from Camp Randall, and they do the jump song, jump around. We're not going to get you to sing anymore right now. We're going to have him hold. He's going to have to hold it. But if you want to see something cool, you got to go to I think it's the start of the third quarter or at the end of the third quarter. They play jump, and the whole stadium does it. Even the old women and their walkers, they raise their walkers up in there and they jump and break hits. And then our Minnesota at North Carolina is a pick'em game. That comes from Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We have Northwestern traveling to Duke, number 21 Duke Blue Devils. And Lindsay says Duke's going to win by a country mile. Western Michigan travels to Iowa, the Hawkeyes. Like I said earlier in the MAC segment, they're going to win a lot to not a lot. We have the Hokies from Virginia Tech. They're going to travel to Shai Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey to take on the Hitmen. The Rutgers University, whatever they are. Spot-Tech's going to win this game. And then Western Kentucky travels to Ohio Stadium in Columbus, Ohio at 3 p.m. on Fox, and the Buckeyes are going to smash them. And then at 4 p.m. from Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, Michigan, number 8 Washington travels to take on Michigan State University. Washington is going to win by the length of the state of California. At 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, like we said, Nebraska is going to be NIU by a lot to not a lot. We covered Bowling Green getting smashed by Michigan in Ann Arbor. And then our final game is a pick'em game, and that's Syracuse at Purdue. Can't talk about that one. Secret. We'll cover it here in just a minute. That is the Big Ten in a nutshell. Is everybody happy? Yay! One more applause. Should we get an applause? Applause. Lindsay looks less than happy with me, probably because I stole his segments. All right, let's go say hi to some people real quick. Adam from Small Town Machine Shop says, I don't watch football, but I enjoy listening to people passionate about a topic and like to support that. Thank you, Adam. We appreciate that. Once again, Bulu Cat says, talks like a da-da-da. That's an asshole. So everybody say hi to Boo and Adam. Power Stroke in here, just run the chat like always. Jude, thank you very much.
Always.
I'm doing a bad job at running this. Bocce says, go Army. Absolutely, Bocce. All right, so we are at the 105 mark. So that would signify that we're probably in the fourth quarter. Can you believe that? The fourth quarter already. Shocker. Uh-oh. If I disappear, something bad happened. I'm just saying that right now. All right, long pause means it's Cass's turn. All right, who's ready to talk some head-to-head here?
Let's go.
All right. Let me get my sheet in front of me here. On tomorrow night, September 15th at 6 p.m. Standard Time, Central Time on Fox Sports 1, the University of Virginia travels to SECU Stadium in College Park, Maryland to take on the Terrapins. Lindsay, who do you got in this game? The over-under is, or the total points is 48, and Maryland's favored by 14.5 points.
You got to forgive me because my dog's barking in the other room, and I either got to go shut her up because I can't hear. Let me ask you the two of you guys talk. I got to take care of the dog. Hold on 1 second.
All right, Jude. Here we go. Who are you picking here? I got Virginia traveling to Maryland to take on the Terrapins. Does UVA stand a chance, or is Tony Elliott going to be one of the next?
Hey, is a terrapin a turtle? Or a type of turtle or something?
I'm not Jack Hanna, but I think so.
Okay, well, I think the Terrapins are going to come out of the show. I think they're going to. I don't think Virginia stands a chance.
Oh man! All right, Lindsay's sitting there intently looking. I think the Terps cover. The Terps I'm gonna take it over. The Terps are gonna win by a ton. Terps will win outright. This isn't close. UVA is not a good team, and as much as I like Tony Elliott when he was the offensive coordinator at Clemson, I don't like Tony Elliott right now. I think that the Terrapins smashed them, and UVA probably looks to start looking for another coach. All right, Lindsay, what do you got?
It's kind of hard to say anything you guys haven't already said about it. I agree 100%. I don't see this being a close game at all, and it should be a blowout from the get-go.
All right, here we go. At 2:30 p.m. from Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Minnesota Golden Gophers travel to take on the number 20 North Carolina Tar Heels. The total points on this one is 51, and the Tar Heels are favored by 7.5. What do you think on this one, Jude?
I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to pick North Carolina to cover 31-17.
Oh, all right. Lindsay, what do you got?
I think North Carolina is going to do better than the spread. I think they're going to be I'll take the under in points, and I think that North Carolina will win 35-21.
All right. So I'm gonna let everybody know right now. I went 6-2 last week in picks, and I was 7-1 in head-to-head matches. So I'm not gonna give scores this week. I'm only gonna give
games.
Oh, I'm only gonna do the games. I have the Tar Heels covering. I'm gonna take the under, and the Heels are gonna win this game outright. So we'll look for that. At 6 p.m. on the Mothership on ESPN, the number 11 Tennessee Volunteers travel to take on the Florida Gators. Now the Gators, none with the total points on this game is 58.5, and the Vols are favored by 6.5. This game comes from Ben Hill Griffith Stadium in Gainesville, Florida. What do you got in this game, Lindsay?
I got Tennessee on this one. I don't see Florida as standing much of a chance. Tennessee's got way too much talent in all aspects of their game, including the coaching. And I think Tennessee is favored by 6 points. I think they're going to cover that easily, and I'll take the over on the points.
All right, Jude.
I agree with Lindsay.
I know you love you some volunteer football here.
Yeah, man, they had Kiff. No, I agree with Lindsay. Tennessee's just way too powerful. I think the reason the spread's only 7 is because it's in Gainesville. If the game was in Knoxville, if it was in Knoxville, I think Tennessee might be favored by 17 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the Vols to cover. I'm gonna take the over. The Vols are gonna score a tremendous amount of points in this game. I would say that 58.5 should probably be 10 more points. Probably be 68.5, and the Vols win. And we'll have another coach on the coaching hot seat. This is the coach of Florida. What's his name? I just drew a blank. I had this whole thought in my head.
Yeah, Florida's coach is
Doesn't matter. He's not going to be there much longer. So
he was Colin Cowherd.
I
can't remember his name. He was Colin Cowherd's roommate in college.
Was he really?
I believe
no,
so.
They're
Yeah.
They're two different ages. Cowherd's like 60 years old. This guy's only like in his 40s.
Okay, you know what? I might be thinking of the last coach. Who their last coach was his roommate. I know Colin Cowherd's college roommate was Florida's coach probably before this guy.
All right, so we're gonna have this next week's trivia question. You have to answer that in the OT. Who is Colin Cowherd's roommate in college? It's important to know. All right, so yeah, I think the Vols win by a ton. So we're gonna travel to the Big 12, and we have the University of South Alabama traveling to play Oklahoma State at 6 p.m. on the Big 12 ESPN Plus networks. This comes from Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Now, I want to tell you a little something. Last week, Oklahoma State beat a Pac-12 team with using 3 quarterbacks, and it wasn't like one guy got hurt, they brought in the next guy, whatever it was. They played each guy like a third of the game. It was the oddest thing I ever saw, and I can't believe they won the game. But they won the game. I hope they pick a quarterback this week because University of South. This is why I picked this as a pick'em game because University of South Alabama is no joke. So Jude, the spread, the total points in this game is 48.5, and the spread is 7 points. So Oklahoma State's favored by a touchdown. What do you got on this?
I'll take the under, and I'll take Oklahoma State to win. And if they're going to play 3 quarterbacks again, it's going to be a real similar game to that Arizona State game. I'll take the under in Oklahoma State 21-20.
Oh, so you got the South Alabama covering also.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, South Alabama's no joke, especially if Oklahoma State doesn't know who their quarterback is. If they come out and try to play 3 quarterbacks again, I mean, even though that can be confusing to a defense, South Alabama is well coached and they'll cover. They may win that game outright, but right now I'll say 21-20 Oak State because it's Stillwater.
I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'll take the over 42-31. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and but I see Oklahoma walking away with it.
Oklahoma or Oklahoma State?
I'm sorry, Oklahoma State.
Yeah. I just had to clarify, just for the 3 people watching right now.
Well,
right, I have just like Jude. I have South Alabama covering. I'm going to definitely take the under on this one, and I think the Pokes win. That'd be Oklahoma State. The Cowboys, they're going to win. In the under. I'm not, like I said, this week I'm not going to give scores because last week I was 6-2 and I was 7-1 in head-to-head matches. All right, this is going to hurt Jude's feelings right here. The number 17 Ole Miss Rebels host the Georgia Tech, whatever Georgia Tech is. I can't remember right off the top of my head.
Yeah, Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets. That's correct. That's 100% correct. Who's the most famous Georgia Tech alumni of all time, in your opinion, Jude?
John Sally,
What?
basketball player.
I would have picked Megatron. That's just me, though.
Yeah, he was pretty good. John Sally won 3 or 5 championships.
John Sally was on the team that won 5 championships. John Sally didn't.
That's true.
Right.
I actually forgot about Megatron for a second there.
See, we just have fun on the show. That's what it's all about. All right, Lindsay. This game happens at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. The total points on this is 63.5, and Ole Miss is favored by 18.5 versus a pretty good Georgia Tech team. What do you think on this one, Lindsay?
I think the line has it right on this one. I would expect nothing less from Ole Miss. They're going to be a powerhouse against a much more inferior team in Georgia Tech. So I'll take them to win. I can't see this one going any other way, and I think the line has it right. I'll take the over.
All right. Jude, what do you got on this one? I know you're taking Ole Miss. You're not going against Lane Epper.
Well, if you play
Unless you like USC.
But I'm going to take Ole Miss. I'm going to take the over, and I'm going to say 48-28.
All right, I'm leaning. Georgia Tech's going to cover in this game because they're pretty good. I'm definitely taking the under, and I hate to say this, but I'm actually picking Georgia Tech to win this game.
This is not the game that Jackson Dart falls off of the Heisman radar.
I hope I'm wrong. But the good thing is we've all we picked differently on the stuff. So, all right, the game that Lindsay's tried to pick like 3 times tonight, I finally give him his chance. From Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette, Indiana. Syracuse, the Cuse, travels to play the Purdue Boilermakers at 6:30 p.m. on NBC. The total points in this game is 57.5, and Purdue is favored by 2.5. What do you got in this one? Actually, I think Syracuse is favored by 2.5.
So my dog is losing her mind in the other room.
Tell me what you think right now. We're gonna let Lindsay.
God, I can't. So hang on.
Hey, if you take a piece of bread and put some peanut butter on there and throw it to the dog, he won't make noise for the rest of the night.
Not her. You don't know this dog.
I promise you, she'll be licking the roof of her mouth and her face for the entire night.
Oh, God.
I don't know that. I never did that. If Peter's watching, that's not me. I read the story on the internet.
What I heard. All right, so we're talking Syracuse.
Syracuse. The Cuse. The orange, Syracuse orange. If you're from Florida, you say orange. So the spread on this game is 57.5 points. And it's a 2.5 point spread, but it's 57.5 total points. I'll let you know what I'm thinking first. I'm going to take the under, and I think Purdue wins the game outright.
Really?
Against inferior competition so far, Colgate and Western Michigan, Syracuse has only given up 1 touchdown. Purdue was in a shootout against Fresno State, which is a good team, and then they were in a dogfight against Virginia Tech. They went 1-1 in those games. Right now, Syracuse is on a roll. They're on a high. They're going to Purdue. That's the only problem. That's why I believe Syracuse is only a 2.5 point favorite. But I'm going to pick Syracuse. I'm going to pick the under, but I'm going to pick them to easily cover 2.5 points. I mean, that's just a field goal. So I'll take Syracuse.
I think Syracuse is favored in this one.
Yeah, they're favored by 2.5. So I'll pick them to cover, but I'll take the under.
All right. What you got, Lindsay?
I'll pick Syracuse to cover. I like them in this game. I can't see Purdue coming to this game with enough to beat them, especially given the adjustments that Syracuse is making from last week. So I'm going to take Syracuse to cover.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, the game with one of the coolest names of a football game, it's called the Backyard Brawl. It happens between the University of Pittsburgh and West Virginia University. This comes from Milan Puskar Stadium, Pushkar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia at 6:30 p.m. on ABC. And the weather looks Chamber of Commerce. It's going to be 75 degrees for the high. At kickoff, it's not going to be nearly 75 degrees, but it's going to give the fans of West Virginia an opportunity to go get liquored up, pilled up, whatever they need to go and cheer on the Mountaineers versus the Pitt. And you're going to see a lot of the signs in the stadiums that says shit on Pitt. It'll be great. The total points in this game is only 42 points, and Pitt is favored by 7.5. What are your thoughts on this one, Jude?
I think Pitt will cover. And what's the spread?
42 points. Oh,
Less
seven and a half. Total points is 42.
42. Oh yeah, I'll take Pitt to cover and take the over.
All right, Lindsay, what do you got on this one?
Pitt will cover. I'll take the under on this one. But it shouldn't be difficult for Pitt to walk away with this one. But it'll happen late in the game.
It blows my mind in college football whenever you see it spread less than 48 points because these teams just most of the time they just score.
Yeah. Well, I'm picking West Virginia to cover. I'm definitely going to take the under, and I say the Pitt wins the game outright. So it's going to be a close game, somewhere in the like the 21-17 type score, something like that. It's going to be really, really close, though. All right, I think
it's a good game to watch. That's one of the games I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least watch highlights.
So let me get us into the overtime here. And we have a little bit of business to talk about, and then we will get to. I can't find the overtime banner now. Way to go, Cass. It's like our first day, sometimes every day.
No,
if y'all want to replace me at some point, y'all can. I'll be fine with it.
I've gone back and watched some of our, old broadcasts. And even if we struggle a little bit here and there, man, we are so much better than when we started. I mean, we've come. I mean, I'm patting ourselves on the back, guys, but we've come a long way.
I thought you were going to say we're so much better than Sports Center.
Well, man,
I'm not gonna lie. I love SVP. So anytime I get to watch Scott Van Pelt, I love watching Scott Van Pelt. So
can you believe he was afraid to leave the Golf Channel to come to Sports Center because he wasn't sure if he could make it at ESPN, and Dan Patrick convinced him to come over.
Wow,
he's a great broadcast man. I just like sports, you become attached to people that you like. ESPN, they've got some really good broadcasters, especially the guys that do Sports Center. I don't know if it'll ever get better than Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann, but Stuart Scott was great. Chris Berman was great. SVP is great. They have a lot of good broadcasters now. I'll tell you that.
Rich Eisen is my favorite.
Yeah, he left, I think, to the NFL Network, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He comes on. He comes on Dan Patrick's radio show once a week during football season, and I really like listening to them talk to each other. Kind of like what Adam said. When you hear people talking even about something and they're passionate about it, I can listen to people talk about something like that all day long.
Yeah, I think Rich Eisen is one of the best interviewers in sports.
Yeah,
no, he's good.
All right, we're in the overtime. We might as well let the cat out of the bag. Jude, what did I pick as the what did I call it? What was the name of this game? I have it written down in my notes. I have to actually scroll back to it.
Well, I was
games
incorrect.
that don't matter. It's a game. What is the game that doesn't matter this week?
I was incorrect. My guess was incorrect.
I don't know that. You don't know that.
Well,
I do it.
Because you covered it already. like 10 seconds after.
What game did you? I gave you 2 guesses.
10 seconds after I said. Well, 10 seconds after I said I think I have it, you covered it. So I was like, oh, well, there goes that. But I was thinking the Sea Wolves versus the Red Wolves, Stony Brook and Arkansas State. That was my guess.
That's a good guess. But it's not the right guess. It's incorrect. And I already picked this and you can verify this with Hunter. I'm going to give you one more guess. What's your one more guess?
If I had one more guess, man, Lindsay, take a guess. I'll think about this for a minute.
In the game that doesn't matter.
A game that does not matter. Absolutely will not, never, does not matter.
It has to be, given process of elimination here, the fact that we can forget about that game we're just talking about, it's got to be LaGrange College playing Ferrum.
No, it's got to be a Division I school.
Damn it.
I have no idea what you just said. Those words don't exist in my vocabulary.
Well, there goes my guess.
What about
Lindsay, I'll give you one more guess after Jude.
Norfolk State at Temple?
Mm-mm.
No.
I
figured
thinking
that
Temple
was
on that one. That's Stan Drayton. I would never pick poorly against Stan Drayton. Last guess, Lindsay.
Northern Iowa and Idaho State.
Nope.
Oh.
The Week 3 game that does not matter. New Mexico State at New Mexico. That is the game I picked.
Oh man,
I have New Mexico beating New Mexico State 31-28.
We know nobody will be carrying guns there.
They don't even.
Hey, did you hear about that?
They're not even on TV. You can't watch the game.
Did you hear about that lady in Chicago that's got a gun into the White Sox game because she had
Really?
She had the gun tucked into the rolls of her bat.
Oh,
That just screams Chicago in so many ways.
Then it went off and grazed a couple of girls, but they oh, it was crazy. It happened a couple weeks ago.
all right. Hold on. I have a question out of sheer practicality. What pulled the trigger?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh man, we got
Oh.
about 3 minutes left in the show,
Boy.
so we kind of missed on every quarter tonight as far as like the speed at getting this done. Update right now: Memphis leads Navy 28-24. Navy is in field goal range, driving down. They're down to about the 20. There's about 46 seconds to go. They're now in the red zone, so Navy has to score a touchdown to win the game. Field goal does no good. A touchdown wins this game. 45 seconds to go. Navy's got a 1st and 10 from about the Memphis 20. So we'll hang on here for just a little bit to watch maybe those last 45 seconds. Fun stuff. So does Florida State score over 65 points this week, Jude?
Oh man, probably.
Does Jordan Travis, are they stat padding for Jordan Travis on this game?
That's. I mean, I think because of where they started, they are. You know, had they been a top 5 team at the beginning of the season, they wouldn't have to stat pad. But yeah, that they are stat padding. And 52 seconds to go, man. Wow.
So, Lindsay, your Boston College Eagles, not so good.
Oh no. They don't stand a chance.
Like I would say in coaching, they're a heaping sack of dog shit. Bad.
The shoe
And
fits.
That might be the most accurate statement. All right, so 30 seconds left, 3rd down. Oh no, Navy does have a timeout, and they're lining up in a spread formation to throw the ball. If you're not accustomed to watching Navy, oh, did he drop the ball? No, you got to throw it. You got to throw the ball. Call timeout. I think he fumbled. No, they're saying he's down. 13 seconds left. It's going to be 4th down. There's 1 play left. We're going to stay on, and then we'll say our goodbyes after this last play, if there is the last play. Navy definitely play this game a lot closer. So the moral victory is there for the midshipmen, although I think of moral victories is like that's worse than losing. Like, oh, we played so well, but we lost. I'm like, you kidding me?
There's a rule in the rec league ball my kid played in, where if a team goes up 20 points on you, they can't guard outside the 3-point line. So basically, you can walk up and take threes all the rest of the game. So one game we went down 20 points, and they told the other team, all right, you can't guard past the 3-point line. So I yelled out to my kids, I'm like, all right, you guys stay inside the 3-point line. We can't guard outside the 3-point line. And they were telling me, like, no, you can. They can't because they're up so far. I said, no. I'm like, that's your rule that they can't guard us because they're up 20. My rule is we're going to play by the same rules as them. If they can't guard us, we can't guard them. I don't care if they're up 20. You know, I don't want any privileges. And then a couple of the other coaches started doing the same thing, and then they had to talk with us.
All right, here we go. This
The
is the final.
CNY stands for Christian.
Possible final plays. 4th down. Navy's in the spread. He throws the ball. Not close to 1st down. Navy loses.
Oh,
Not. I don't know. They may review this thing. There's no. Yeah, they're definitely reviewing this thing. But Navy's gonna. He didn't get past the line to gain. I'm almost for certain. Navy's trying to.
how do you run that close to when you got 4th and
spike
6?
the ball? If they spike the ball here, the Navy gets another play. They can't review it. Navy's line. This is the most confusing thing I've ever seen. The referees are all shoving everybody back. The Navy almost got away with this. I don't think he got the line to gain. But if I look at the TV, it looks like it's off. He may have got this. Oh, I think he did. Oh, he did get it. Oh my goodness, he did get the 1st down. Are you kidding me? So Navy's on the line. They are lined up. They got 9 seconds left. The 1st down. They're gonna have to spike this thing, and he's got like probably 2 plays because Navy takes forever to throw the ball. I don't always look
Two
for
plays
it.
to the end zone, man. That's all. That maybe
Yeah, but
one.
they're gonna be on like it's like 1st and goal. The Memphis fans are freaking out. This guy right here might actually go and murder his family tonight. I don't condone violence, none whatsoever, but this may happen. We're gonna run a little bit long. We're gonna be in the overtime now.
Hey, is it just me, or does Memphis always have an NFL caliber running back on their team?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Who was the guy that they had a couple years ago that beat up the starting quarterback? What was his name? Oh, now we're in official review. Are we kidding? Come on, you already spotted the ball. He got this thing. I'm telling you, he got it. All right, score alert from the National Football League. The Philadelphia Eagles are dragging their feet across the top of the Vikings' foreheads. That's not what the word I was going to use. It rhymes with beach balls. Across the Vikings' foreheads. Not close.
Note from that
down.
game. Note from that game from the Minnesota Vikings team. Jordan Addison, former USC Trojan, has now scored a touchdown in both of the games he's played in the National Football League.
All right, so here's a question for you, Jude. Totally off the subject of college football, but pro football. Is there a chance that Jordan Addison's the Rookie of the Year?
Yes, I called that last year at the end of the season. Jordan Addison would be offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL this year.
Right now, they need to play a lot bigger than what they are. Though.
Oh yeah, they got to win, man. They lost it to Baker. Hey, Baker was the worst team you told me last week.
Yeah, man, I was shocked. Hey, well, who'd have thought that the Cincinnati? Who'd have thought the Bengals would only come out and score 3 points in
That's
the first game of the season? I'm watching a pretty good high school football game going on right now. All right, so
what are they reviewing on this one now?
The spot of the ball. Oh, they reversed it. The game's over.
Oh
no! Oh,
wait, was there a question whether he got the 1st down?
No, they just reversed the call. They took it from the midshipman. No way.
Oh, well, at least that guy's family's not going to die. That's like
so he's got that going for him.
Yeah, we don't know that, Jude.
Now someone else is right.
Oh man, the Navy head football coach's hair just fell out of his head. He is bald up top now. He is just.
Hold on. The ruling was that they made a 1st down.
Yeah, and then they reviewed it and they took it away from them.
Good Lord, Stevie Wonder could have made a better call than that.
Are you watching the game?
Yeah.
Did you see this? The spot looked like he may have actually got it.
No, the TV line was a yard off. Well,
no, the TV line was off by a yard. It wasn't even close. All right, here's a pet peeve of mine. I hate the victory formation out of shotgun. Tell me that we're gonna screw this up without telling me we're gonna screw this up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. we dicked up the shotgun snap. Here's the Memphis coach. He's walking out here going, whatever. The Navy coach looks like he's about to whoop his ass. The Navy coach is pretty yoked for the dude that looks like in shape Santa Claus. I'm not gonna lie. Navy's 1-2. They played a hell of a good game. Memphis is 3-0. They're still not gonna be ranked. So, all right.
There'll definitely be others receiving votes, though.
Yep. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap the show for this week. In same form, same fashion, I'm gonna let these guys each say their goodbyes. Start with the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Lindsay Coyle.
Thank you for watching, everybody. We appreciate your participation in the chat. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Let's build the momentum that we've got going here and increase the fun for everyone. And we'll also have some special guests when we get enough subscribers. So please do your best to contribute. We thank you very much for chiming in, and we will see you next time.
Cool.
Thanks,
Santa Cruz.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in again. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast, and I hope you guys enjoy the broadcasts that are coming up in the future. Get us to 50 subs, guys. You guys are really going to be enjoy the person that we have on first. It's a really, really, really cool guest. I'm looking forward to conversing with the gentleman. 50 subs. We're almost there. We're getting really, really close. So thanks for watching. Fight on. We are SC, and V is for victory. Always remember, you cannot spell SEC without the letters S and C. Go Trojans.
All right. As I sit here and I look for our subscriber count, I can't pull it up because my phone's acting. So remember, you got to get us to 50 total subscribers in order to get the big guest interview. And I promise you, it's a big guest. All right. Not only in acumen, but in physical size as well. He's massive. I met him, shook his hand, he shook my hand.
We gained three subs tonight. We're at 45.
Oh, we're at 45 subscribers. So you gotta subscribe to find out. Once we get to 50,
Adam, I know you're one of them.
All right. With that said, we got to thank everybody out there. Awesome night tonight. A lot of fun. Missed Hunter tonight, but he'll be back in a couple weeks. We'll have some more fun with him. He's here, and hopefully he'll make it with our big guest. And I got this great outro going on right now. And from the wing of mediocrity in the Youth Football Hall of Fame, I'm your coach, Coach Cass. And remember, the team that scores the most points always wins the game. Thanks for watching.